pressure in control. Man, that looks great.
Jets, Jets, Jets! Oh my God, it's so beautiful. 78 degrees, Jets football, and we're winning. That's what's going on today. That's why everybody's so psyched. This isn't no happenstance. This is a guarantee, just like Joe Namath said. See that?
There are few things in life you cannot put a price on. Loyalty, tradition, fierce passion. Today is a gigantic family reunion because finally, they're back.
Dun, 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 dun. That's epic stuff, isn't it? You got to give it to our One Jets Drive crew. They do good work. Good morning, everybody. This is GreenBean, and we are here for Good Morning Jets this Friday morning, January 13th, 2023. I got to really rethink my schedule here, everybody. We were at the Thursday thick of it last night. Now, granted, I did end it relatively early, considering about 10:30 or so. But man, I drink a lot of caffeine. I'm up till 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and then I've got to wake up. I don't know what I'm doing. But I do it for you. I love to hang out with you guys. And guys, let me tell you, man, the New York Jets, while we did have ourselves an exciting first half of the season, and the truth is an exciting second half, just disappointing second half. We were in it, man. We were in it. We were one score away from, beating 10-win teams and all the fun stuff that we did in the playoff hunt till week 17 of an 18-week season. But the offseason is really where we make our money. It's where we butter our bread, isn't it? The offseason is where we're most comfortable. Woo-wee! Nobody touches the Jets. Big Green's here. I saw that Big Green's got his coffee. He's got his smokes. He's ready to go. It's good to see Big Green. It seems this is a good time for Big Green, He's here every day with this one. So it's nice. Nice to see you, buddy. Hawks in the house. Top of the morning to you, buddy. Jim Kelly, I have a feeling this is not the Jim Kelly that went to 4 straight Super Bowls. Nonetheless, I'm glad you're here. Come on, Woody, crack open that checkbook. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. Woody Johnson made some proclamations this week, some statements, and we'll talk about what it may or may not mean. Bogachuk is in the house. Beanbagger Supreme, Philip Bogachuk. Phil knows his stuff, man. I got to meet Phil at the Coney Island Cyclone this year. Very, very cool. Phil Adams, our good buddy from Stoke-on-Trent. Again, you see that flag right there. That is the design and creation of one Phil Adams. He sent it to us in the mail, and I proudly display it. That is called the Jets Jack. There are only 5 in the world. One's at Phil's house. One's at Jeremy's house from Jets Chaos. One's at Frankie's house. One's here on my wall. And I have the other one. And we're going to give it away. I tried to give it away, and the person never claimed it. So we got to give it away. We'll give it away this Thursday, Phil. It's literally right there. I know exactly where it is. It's right there. So we'll give away the 5th and only Jets Jack. So good morning to you, Phil. Jennifer Slattery's in the house. Good morning with your cup of coffee. Yeah, there you go. Let's see who else we got here. Green and White Militia. Good morning. Good morning to you. Joey G's in the house. Robbie Rhino. Right. You guys are the best. Now, Green and White Militia lives in South Carolina. This turned into my fellowship alternative, and I appreciate all of you. It's like AA, but our problem is the Jets. It's the, I didn't know you were in AA. Maybe you told me. I have a problem remembering, but I'm in AA as well, as you know. So good for you, right? Fellowship is vital, and this is fellowship. Now, it's a very, very sometimes difficult fellowship to swallow. Is it not, Green and White Militia? But I'm glad you're here. We're here together, buddy. We're here together. Kyle Ornsby's in the house. Good to see you, Kyle. Nate That's a good one. Welcome, Hayton. Nate, there he is. See, Big Green's got his smokes. Brian Bogan's in the house. Yeah, man. It's good to see you. Jay-Z, Jets, and Jimmy, and the rest. Guys, I'm really happy that you're here. We're going to try to make this one a little bit succinct. You know, I told my wife this is going to be a daily show, 30 to 45 minutes of tops. We're going to wrap it up. And every show, if you look at it, it's like an hour and 4 minutes, an hour and 7 minutes. Something's wrong with me. So I got to do it today. I have to end it on time because I have appointments. I have a doctor's appointment. I will tell you guys, 10 a.m. Eastern time, over on Jets Media, all the guys are getting together. I was supposed to be with them today. You know, Matt and Jake and Ali and Jack and obviously Richie and Ryan and all the dudes. They're all going to be together on Jets Media recapping the season. I hope you guys can get over there. I have appointments and I agreed to do it, and then I realized I can't, so I'm brokenhearted. But so anyway, I gotta go ahead and get in the car because I live an hour from everything. All right, I'm in East Jabib, everybody. Max Antonucci is in the house, world-class comedian, everybody, and diehard Jets fan. Previously, the host of the Goddamn Jets Show. Max is a great dude, very, very funny. And if you get a chance to see him, he's over, but he's back on the East Coast again, man. He was living in L.A. for a while. So welcome back, sir. Smoking in the pot. For some reason, I don't want Lamar. I feel like, well, I'll tell you what. We'll talk about all that. So let's start this with today's news. We have, now we just did the Thursday thick of it last night. So for some of you, this might be a little bit of a rehash, but let's talk about it, man. Woody Johnson, right? Woody Johnson is in the news. He did a little presser. Let me do this. Hold on. We got to do the runner. And where is it? Woody Johnson. Come on. I just made it this morning. What would the Jets pay? Well, I guess I did. So, all right. So Woody Johnson said, hold on. Something's wrong. Okay, Woody Johnson, our owner, our fearless leader who has fearlessly led us into the dumps the last few years. And by few, I mean, 15 or so, 12, let's call it. Because he took control of the team. He wanted to be really in the mix. Both he and his brother did the same thing, where they had a hierarchy where the GM and the coach were on the same level and they both report up to the owner, which didn't really work. Now, I will give Woody credit because he in front of the world admitted that he doesn't know what he's doing as far as going out there and hiring the right staff. Now, he used an agency called Corn Ferry when he decided to keep Rex Ryan but let Tannenbaum go, which is a mistake. And I said it then. I was fine with keeping Rex and giving it a go. But look, if you're going to get rid of the GM, either keep them together and give them another swing at it or just don't do it. But he decided to let Tannenbaum go, and he hires an agency to find the perfect candidate for general manager. As we know, they were forced with keeping Rex. So it limited who we could get. And they came up with John Idzik. John Idzik made it 2 years, and he had to fire the whole group, Rex and Idzik. And then he hired Casserly and Wolf, previous general managers to some success, said, guys, can you help me? The agency didn't work. I don't know who to look at. I don't know what I need to see. Can you come in here? Tell me who I need to hire. And then Casserly, sad to say, decided to use that time to hire a friend of his instead of the best candidate. And he hired Mike McCagden. And the interesting thing about that is that he also hired the coach before the GM. It just, they should have hired the general manager, sat down, talked about his type of coach. But no, they did it ass backwards. And it's really quite the situation if you look at it. But you got to give it to Woody, who in front of the world said, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. Now you got to give that to a guy, a billionaire with some pride. He allowed everybody to know he doesn't know what he's doing. Now, the next time when we had to fire those guys, Christopher Johnson was the acting CEO, his little brother. So we had the two agencies, the outside help coming in. Woody's over there as the ambassador to the United Kingdom. Chris Johnson takes over, and Chris is thinking, this isn't hard. I'll do it myself. What is this madness? Of course I can do it. So he and McCagnon got working. At the last minute, Peyton Manning calls up and says, hey, dude, Chris, old buddy. And Chris is like, wow, I'm talking to Peyton Manning. Oh, my God, this is so cool. He says, you got to hire Adam Gase. He's the goods. Dude, believe me, you won't regret it. And he goes, you know what? Throw all our research out the window. We're hiring Adam Gase. So, and that failed. So then ultimately, we know it all went down to making Joe Douglas the general manager and the boss. Now, since then, we haven't had many winning seasons, but you can clearly see the tide turning, at least with, coming out on top on trades, the contracts no longer being, albatrosses. And you look at the players that we're bringing in, the young players, the draft. I mean, it's night and day what we're doing. Now we just need to kind of get over that hump. This looked like the season we were about to do it, but here we are, and we have to relook at quarterback. And Woody goes out there and he says, we are absolutely ready to spend big on a quarterback. So what does that mean? What does that mean, everybody? Woody is going out front. Now, we don't know if Joe Douglas wants to spend on. We don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know if Joe and maybe Robert Saleh are thinking, wait a second, we wanted Zach. We got our quarterback. Who knows, right? We don't know. Now, common sense would tell you that, they can't possibly go into this season with Zach and Mike White, Flacco, and Streveler as the group. We can't. But Woody went out front and said, we're absolutely willing to spend money. And that makes people think all sorts of fun things. Now, what's the first guy? Well, we go to the most expensive two guys, right? We start hearing about Lamar Jackson. Now, why is Lamar Jackson all of a sudden in the equation? Well, Connor Hughes said a couple weeks ago that the Jets will be first in line. So he put that in our brains. And then Woody says this, which makes you think it's going to happen, because he turned down a $45 million a year contract. I don't know who's advising him. He does not have an agent. He's his own agent. I'm of the belief that $45 million is pretty good. Okay, that's where I stand. $45 million, pretty good. So I think he should have just taken it, man. I mean, it's way up top, but he wants to be number one, I think, and so he's going to cost $50 million. So when Woody says we're going to pay whatever we need to for a quarterback, he's up top. He's $50 million. Now, right behind him is Aaron Rodgers. Now, again, both of these guys are going to cost, in addition to $50 million, $40 million, $45, they're going to cost picks. So we're going to get our ass kicked. No matter how you slice it, you better hope that the team is built and you're a quarterback away, because you're going to have very little premium assets to move forward with the next couple of years. You're going to be giving away 3 firsts. I mean, maybe 2 at the best. Two and a player, I don't know, man. It's going to be a situation. Now, the Jets, we haven't had a quarterback in a very, very long time, a legit quarterback. So maybe the idea, like, hey, getting a quarterback that is already proven to be elite, among the elites in the NFL, maybe these draft picks and shit that we value so much as Jets fans, maybe they don't matter, man. Maybe it's time that we do commit to a quarterback. Now, I don't know, but underneath everything, at the foundation of it, Woody said, we're willing to spend. And the thing that you have to give this guy, whether you like Woody Johnson or not, plenty of Jets fans think Woody needs to sell the team. Whether you like him or not, the one thing that you must give Woody is his propensity to give his general managers whatever they ask for as far as contract money. You can't argue it, man. I mean, look, he gave bad GMs endless supplies of money, whatever they wanted. A great example is Mike McCagnon with CJ Mosley. CJ Mosley, the top linebacker pay of that year, of that era, was $12 million. That was way up top. Woody okayed McCagnon, giving him 17. That's $5 million more per year for 5 years. It's $25 million more than anybody else was going to give him. You know what I mean? It's so, you got to give that to him. Again, whether you like him or not, you got to give it to him. So what does it mean? What do you guys think? Does it mean does it mean Lamar? Do you like Lamar? Does it mean Aaron Rodgers? Do you like Aaron Rodgers? Does it mean Derek Carr? Derek Carr's not cheap either. He's $34 million, I think it is. And Jets, this is funny. If Woody would have went straight to the police, you guys know that? Who knows that? Jennifer Slattery, you know what that joke is? If Woody would have gone straight to the police, Hawk knows what that joke is. After much deliberation, it must be Derek Carr and Greg Olsen. If we're getting away from Zach as the guy, Carr is the answer. Now, there you go. There's a thought process. Now, I happen to lean that way as well. I think Greg Olsen coupled with Derek Carr would be best case scenario. That's my thought. A guy, he's been there, done it. He's been there, done it with Derek Carr. So these guys are going to hit the ground running. They need a few minutes to kind of reacclimate themselves to each other. And they're going to be like, hey, let's go show everybody what we do. That's what they're going to do. So I like it. I like that idea. Phil Adams is talking about Lamar. Lamar Jackson and MetLife Turf, a marriage made in a hospital. Well, hey, the good news is, Phil, we're changing the MetLife Turf this year to we're not getting grass. We're getting a different version of turf. I got to go back and look. I forget which one it is. So Jennifer, clarification. She's saying, Woody didn't just go say it. A reporter asked a dumb question. What else can he say? Well, that's generally what we get anyway, Jennifer. I mean, every little comment that we get is via usually a stupid question. Like, look at the Zach Wilson thing, right? We talked about it ad nauseum, but when the one that blew up and got him benched was, do you think you let the defense down? And he said no and walked away. That was the third time they asked him that question. Now, not exactly. They had, do you think you let Garrett Wilson down? Do you think you let your wide receivers down? Do you think you're off? They asked him numerous ways the same question. He answered them fine. He was clearly upset and frustrated. And then they got him. The last question. That's it. I mean, dude, it's if you ever listen to our press conferences, you just listen to when you can hear the questions, which is not every time, you'll hear it, dude. Some of the questions you're like, what? How can they have the gumption to ask that? So, all right, let me see what you guys are thinking about Lamar. Oh, Matt O'Leary's in the house. What's up, Matt? I'm not going to see you guys in a little bit. I'm upset by it. I just texted Richie. I'm like, I can't do it. I got a thing. I forgot about. Let's see. Most game-winning drives by a quarterback. I have a feeling that he's talking about Derek Carr or Lamar Jackson. What are you talking about? I never know what Matt's talking about these days. Most game-winning drives by a quarterback since 2014. All right, let's see. Matt O'Leary clarifying, I hope. Most game-winning drives by a quarterback since 2014. There it is. Number 1, Derek Carr. Number 2, Matt Stafford. Then Russell Wilson, followed by Kirk Cousins. Interesting. Now, let me ask you guys this. Any interest? What if the Broncos are kind of looking to shed the weight of Russell Wilson? We made a mistake. He doesn't mesh here. We're willing to give him away for a first. You guys willing to do that? He's had one bad year in a weird circumstance. They already fired the head coach. I don't know. Maybe they're willing to do that. What do you guys think of that? Nathan Colgrove, O'Leary, saying he doesn't know if McDaniels is a good coach, but their line is worse than ours, healthy, and the defense vastly underperformed. This is the thing with Derek Carr. Like, look, I'm not gonna poo-poo on anybody's gripes. If you have a gripe with the guy, as long as it's based in some fact, like the cold weather stuff, I don't feel like it's the biggest deal, but it's real, right? You have the fact that he's never really been able to do much in the playoffs. Now, there's reasons for it, but it's real. So if people have these gripes, it's fine. But when you take a second and just look behind it, you got a quarterback throwing for 4,100 yards, 2-1 touchdowns to interceptions, 65% completion percentage. He's doing his job. He's doing his part. Like, he can only do so much. Now, maybe he's not Tom Brady. Maybe he can't overcome the deficiencies of a defense or what have you. Maybe he's not that guy. Well, the good news is we have one of the best defenses in the NFL currently. The good news is we happen to have Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims, and for now, Corey Davis and Barry. All these guys took dips since, I don't know. Didn't Elijah Moore look like a complete stud to you guys? What's happening here? So it's going to be interesting. Astamar Dark Star wants Rodgers. Zoe would like Derek Carr. Yeah, I know. I'll miss you too, man. Seriously, man. This was we used to do this a lot a couple years ago. Everybody getting together. We haven't done that as much. So I really appreciated Richie reaching out to everybody. And I wanted to do it, but I can't. I actually got to cut this in a few minutes, in 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. And I got to go do the thing. No to Russ, yes to Carr. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. The Russell Wilson thing. Somebody brought that up to me last night. I was like, I don't know. He has one bad year. O'Leary, Raiders were a dumpster fire. I don't think that's on Carr like Stafford with the Lions. Right. He's the best player on a bad team. Without him, could you imagine if they didn't have really top 10 quarterback play all those years? Can you imagine? Jets chaos. Russell Wilson would be an old-fashioned Jets move. Well said. Well said. I think that's a good way to look at it. I can see Carr in Miami. That's the thing. There's going to be competition. We're not just going out there alone. We're going to have to beat them. And they've already beaten us with Tyreek Hill. Don't forget. Joey G says Lamar's not worth $40 million plus. Under 64 completion percentage, under 3,000 yards per season, injury bug. I know, dude. Now, look, you have to add his running. You have to add that because it's a major facet of it's a piece of what he does. But I don't know, man. When you just look at his stats, it's like they do decline every year and the injuries. And I don't know. I think that's why he's holding out. He knows this might be it. He might not have another 15-year career. This might be it. He wants to get everything he can now. I don't know. I know, right? That O'Leary says, what's this Derek Carr cold shit? I'll help him get some long johns. Right, we get him a pair of gloves. Right, you know what I mean? So I think Derek Carr would be he'd be the best quarterback we've ever had. And that doesn't mean that he won't throw picks and he won't be frustrating at times. But, I think this is an opportunity, guys. We went to the draft the last couple times, right? The last few times. So we went Sanchez, Hackenberg, Petty, Gino, Sam, Zach. Like for many years, we didn't draft quarterbacks. It was just like we just forgot about them. We didn't draft quarterbacks. Like Kenny O we did Kenny O, Browning, Nagel in the second, and then we did Chad. Like other than that, it was like, we ignored the position largely. And then all of a sudden, we start saying we need a quarterback, and we throw it, all these picks out there with quarterback. We're trading up twice for our quarterback. Well, it's not working here. So, go get a guy. that's proven he can do it in the NFL. That's what I think. Carr is not better than Testaverde, let alone Pennington. Well, I don't know, dude. Look at Testaverde before he came here. He was largely considered kind of washed up backup. The fact that he came out and had that miracle year, Jennifer, was unexpected. When Glenn Foley went down, I know how I felt, and I know how all the Jets fans I was chatting with felt. I can't believe it. It's over. Holy shit. We got Vinny Testaverde. That's what we're left with. You know what I mean? And then he came out of the box and was like, wait a cotton picking minute here. Oh my goodness. Mr. Bogan checking in. We can keep Carr warm with all the glowing smiles from the fans with each of the 30 to 40 touchdowns he throws each season. Look, one thing you got to give us is we are a very supportive and constructive, patient fan base, right? So I think Brian's got a point. We can keep him warm with all of our love and support. We barely ever turn on our players, especially not quickly. You know, we definitely wait a couple years before we sour, right? So we can keep him warm with all of our support, all of our love and smiles. Just want a guy that can come here and hit the ground running and at least be competent right off the bat. You use your draft picks, rebuild that offensive line. You still got Becton and an ABT coming back, but you use your first on a tackle. You use your third on a guard or guard center. You know what I mean? You just start, dude. You just make sure that every level of your offensive line right now, if one guy goes down, there's a stud coming in. That's what you got to do. The Bears may trade Fields for a 3rd and 5th and go for Stroud or Young. You think Fields could run our system? I think Fields could run. I don't even know what our system is anymore, Jets for life. But a 3rd and a 5th for a guy they used a top 20 pick on 2 years ago, I don't know if that's real. I think they're going to be looking to get more than that. I like Justin Fields. I want to make sure that I say that. But again, he's got the running quarterback thing. Running quarterbacks freak me out. And again, I'm old school, and I know that. I know I'm old school, and like pocket passer is what I'm looking. Just be a quarterback, right? I can't get past that. Now, running quarterbacks are just incredibly exciting, and when they take off, and I was like, wow, it's so great. But they wear down fast. When you look over these guys, they, very few, if any, are having 15, 20-year careers. It's just not real. Who? Not Culpepper, not McNabb, kind of, but he settled down, right? Achilles tendon Smith. I don't know. Right? Cunningham, I think of all the time. I loved Cunningham, man. You know why I liked Cunningham even more so, though? I'll be real honest with you guys. Because he was on the Eagles, and that was an era when the Giants were, we sucked and the Giants were great, and I fucking hated it. So Cunningham was able to kind of do some crazy stuff and beat the Giants, and I would, I was a 17-year-old kid. Cunningham! I loved it. And he's a great player, man. He was ahead of his time, right? He was like really kind of ahead of that curve. But look at RG3, right? Josh Allen, I guess, is a running quarterback. He is. But he looks like he might make it. That guy's leaping over people. He's getting crushed, spinning. He's pinwheeling in the air. And I don't know. Cam is another one. Now, Cam, look, you got to give it to Cam. He made it to the Super Bowl. He was an MVP, but just like Lamar was that's the thing. These guys are so incredibly talented. You got to get them early, and you got to know Like getting them after the fact. I mean, look, dude, if that's the way we go, it's the way we go. I'm scared of it. And I think partially because I'm old. I just think you need a line, you need a pocket, you need a guy 6'5" to stand back there and that's what I want. I know. Look, here's the thing, Jets Forever. You're the only one who gives a shit about that. Like I've said it a million times. Like I respond to what I see. Zach looks like complete ass bubbles, right? If he somehow gets back on the field and he looks great, I'm happy. I'm not going to regret a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's very few of you guys out there keeping score. Like, we're Jets fans. Like, the guy who's on the field looks like shit. Now, you've been arguing that LaFleur has not helped Zach, and clearly that's the case. So maybe you got a shot here, right? Maybe Zach's redeemable. Wouldn't that be nice, everybody? Wouldn't that be nice? Sneakers to boots, good morning. Good morning. Mr. Downtown, I don't understand all the Lawson hate from fans. He played through injury, had his highest sack total since 2017. Joe D signed him because of pressure, the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing hate. Are you seeing hate, Mr. Downtown? I'm seeing guys willing to move on because of the $15 million, the zero guaranteed. I think it's his dead cap is like $360,000. So you can cut him and save just about $15 million. And you happen to have Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Michael Clemens, JFM. So you happen to have a pretty good rotation without him. I think at least that's what I'm seeing. I don't know how much it's become hate. Maybe you're seeing it. It's not unlike us. I'll tell you that. It's definitely not unlike us to all of a sudden hate them. And we're nuts, man. I don't know why we do that. Why can't we just constructively go, hey, man, I like him. He's a good player. Not enough for $15 million. I think we might want to move on. Rather than, he sucks. Like, definitely doesn't suck. But if there is hate, I haven't seen it, but I don't doubt it, man. And I think would be unwarranted as well. He's a good player. And I got to say this too. I haven't seen a player held so consistently, and I mean this. Excuse, whatever. But when we're watching the game, Carl Lawson is held on almost every play, and I mean egregiously held. Like forearm around the neck. And they don't call it, man. I think if they just decided to look specifically at that they'd be like, dude, we have to call this. If they just decided to call only the real ones, not the little tug of a jersey, that kind of stuff, the real ones, where without the hold, the play couldn't happen, that kind of stuff, he would have 5-6 penalties a game, at least. And it's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. But I think he's a badass. I really do. And I think a lot of what we've seen, he's a big part of it, man. He is. There's numerous times that both he or even Bryce Huff, JFM, like they flush the quarterback out of the pocket into other people. Like we see that. And it's just as important, guys. Like Quinnen or Rankins or whoever it might be wouldn't get home without the flush. That's just it. Now, look, O'Leary, what a constructive take. Right? I like him. He's a good player. Maybe he didn't get the numbers that maybe I hoped. Right? That's fine. But he costs $15 million. And when you have Huff and JJ and Michael Clemens on the roster, can they produce anywhere near what Carl Lawson can produce for significantly less? And now the other thing you got to remember, he's a major leader on the team too. Now, a lot of people don't really value that as much. You need that stuff. Now, that's not, it's not $15 million worth. But, it's important. It's important. You need those guys. So here's the thing. Let's wrap it up with this one. There's a big one here. And I couldn't believe, I'm very surprised to see there are Jets fans, and a lot of them, that don't think Quinnen should get paid. And I'm blown away by that. I mean, really, this is the kind of stuff that makes me think that people are strictly, their whole goal is to upset and fight people. Like, why? When you have to pay someone, you have to reward. Every team keeps their players, the guys that are important to the team. He went down one game this year, and we saw the difference. It was a completely different defense without him. Completely different. He's vital. He's a good boy who's done everything the right way, nice and quiet, has become a leader, and his on-the-field impact is undeniable. Why? Why wouldn't we want to pay Quinnen Williams? So please tell me in the chat, are you guys into paying Quinnen? Now he wants, look, they said anywhere from 21 to 26 is what I saw. All right. So there's a window there. You can justify. He said that he's willing to take less if that money goes to his brother. That's interesting. What does that tell you? He likes playing with his brother. He likes having his brother on the team. And his brother's good. I don't think he's $6 million good, maybe. But what do you guys think of Quinnen? Are there guys in here that don't want to pay Quinnen Williams? I didn't even know that they were out there. I just, yeah, hold on. I was surprised to learn that. Like, well, Aaron Donald gets paid this. Quinnen's asking for this. Does he really deserve only $6 million less than Aaron Donald? I'm like, well, I don't know, man. To me, why is that even how we're looking at it? What's the going rate? Like, whether or not he's earned, dude, he's 25 years old. He just turned 25 in December. So he's going to play the large part of next season as a 25-year-old. He's just entering his prime, man. Like, who do we reward if not Quinnen Williams? Who? Phil Adams says, pay him. Right. Hawk says, those are not Jets fans, GreenBean. They are trolls. There is not a Jets fan on planet Earth who doesn't want to pay Quinnen. See, the thing is, Hawk, I met some legitimate Jets fans, legit, and they don't want to. They don't think he's worth it. Like, I don't know, dude. This is wacky to me. Sneakers to boots. Quinnen needs the bag. $25 million. We don't pay him. Our culture's out the window. I agree. I think it has really large implications throughout the team. Like, why is Garrett Wilson and Sauce going to give us 110%? Quinnen's clearly doing that. If he doesn't get rewarded, if we string him along, we let him play on his fifth year, then we franchise tag him and blah, blah, blah. And hey, man, we can control him for the next 3 years. That kind of shit. It's not a good look. Bogan says 22 to 24 a year. That's what I'm saying. You offer him 23. Like, I don't know, you offer him 21 and you see, but you land on 22, 23-ish, 23.5, and everybody's happy. You know what I mean? You give them a nice guaranteed number. You work it properly. I don't know how to work it, but they do. Work it properly. Jerry the Jet says, pay Q. Ooh, Justin Jets. I wouldn't pay Quinnen because offense is how you win in today's NFL. Unless you're an edge rush or an edge or corner, I wouldn't pay anyone on defense. Save the money for O-line. Well, see, now that's what Justin Jets is, a real Jets fan. Now, let me ask you this. You're talking about edge rushers. If an edge rusher gets 12 sacks, 12.5 sacks, and I think he's got like 10 tackles for a loss, isn't that considered a successful season from an edge rusher? You're getting that from the interior, which is harder to do. Why is it good numbers on the outside? I'll reward that and pay him. But if he's on the inside, I won't pay him. Now, I'm with you on the offense thing. But, dude, look, again, if we had just an average quarterback, this defense kept every team pretty much around 20 points a game. And we couldn't do it. They kept teams to 0 touchdowns or 1 touchdown. You want to be able to keep doing that because if you have a real quarterback, you're going to feast on that. So, see, there, I'm telling you, there it is. It's out there. Too frugal, right? All these teams are paying everybody, and we're scrimpers, and we never have a team. Disinfo, pay Quinnen, or trade him. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, Disinfo. Don't do it. You got to reward somebody. You got to set that tone. I think whatever contract Quinnen agrees to, we should just give him an extra bonus just because, right? All right, look, we're going to pay you 23 and a little million on the side. Here's an unlimited Olive Garden card. Unlimited breadsticks, buddy, for you. From us to you. Let's see. Pay Q and Quincy, right. O'Leary says he deserves the bag. Young, just hitting his prime, a leader. Right. It's exactly the guy you got to pay. Jet Engine, what's up, buddy? Good to see you again. Thanks for a very exciting night. Jet Engine gifted everybody 5 new memberships to the Stream Beaners, which later today I'll add the new emojis. I'm definitely getting into the new emoji realm with you. So thank you, man. Sincerely appreciate it. He wants to pay Q. Robbie Rhino wants to pay Q. Tyson Maddy wants to pay Q. Bogachuk wants to pay Q. Jeff8275 said, as a smart franchise would pay Quinnen and not let him out the door, I'd keep Quincy as well. These guys are the heart and soul of the D. That's the thing, dude. Like, you got to have players that are like Jets. You got to have it. You can't have this lack of identity revolving door bullshit. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Quinnen Williams is the perfect good boy face of the organization. He's badass on the field, complete sweetheart off of it. Complete. Dude, is there a softer, more huggable player in the NFL than Quinnen Williams? Come on. Yeah, and we pay everybody. We pay other free agents that come in. We're no problem giving them big contracts, right? But we can't pay our own. I hope Joe Douglas gets it done next week. Quinnen, 23.5. Yes, I'll keep your friggin' brother. I'll give him $4 million a year. What do you think? Just get it done. Let's hug and kiss. And unlimited breadsticks for everybody. Pay the Q. Matthew Smith, if Quinnen wants his brother to get the bag, he has to take it. Well, that's what he said he's going to do, Matthew. That's what's so interesting about it. He said, he really wants 26-ish, but he's willing to take 21 if we give the rest of the money to his brother. That's amazing. I mean, have we ever heard of something like that? It's beautiful. All right. Matthew Smith wants to extend sauce. I don't know. That's silliness. You don't do that. Jin Pak, good morning, buddy. He says, keep homegrown Jets. AAJ 1971 says it's more than just money, and it's about the culture you're setting by paying him and the message it sends to everyone. That's right, dude. You have to set. This is the player. Everybody's watching. If they don't take care of Q, they ain't going to take care of me, man. Make no mistake. Sauce Gardner's going to know. This ain't the team. I'll play because I want to make my career great, but I'm not giving them any more than I need to. And we want to have the culture where, like Garrett Wilson, dude, he would get knocked around. He's hurt. He's coming back in. Why? Because of the team. That's what we want. Everybody, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Dude, I can't believe I'm not at 10,000. It's crazy. We were like 100 away 2 weeks ago, 120. We are still at 45. It's trickling, man. It's crazy. I know I'm looking at it more intensely and all that. It's still moving. It's still going towards it. But if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please take a moment and do so. It's one little button. It means the world. And that little like button also sets the tone for the algorithm. It really helps the channel grow, guys. You can join the Stream Beaners very simply. There's a join button under there. That helps you get some fun stuff for the live streams. You get some free super chats and all that jazz, in addition to the emojis. And we're going to do a couple private mocks this year as well. The bigger membership, though, is the Beanbaggers. There are 3 tiers. You can see the link in the description. Guys, that is a blast. We just did our breakdown of some of the best defensive plays this year. We do all 22 stuff. We do classic games every month. It's a blast with the Beanbaggers, and you can join that as well. And look, the truth is it all supports the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget about Liquid IV. Dude, I was in, as I go around town, I go to different stores, I'm seeing Liquid IV everywhere. Why pay full price for the best hydration multiplier in the world? Why pay more? You use my promo code, you get 20% off. Why not? Why not do that? The link is in the description. Use the promo code GreenBean Jetsfan, all one word, and you will save 20% from Liquid IV. Again, dude, it's everywhere. I didn't even know. I didn't even know what I had here. Everybody loves it. All right, we'll end it with this. Pedro Luis Hoyos, thanks for the super chat. He says, pay Q. Defense kept other teams under 20 points. Any decent offense can win with our top 5 defense. Take Carr and keep Q. I'm with you 100%. That's very well said, Pedro, and I think that's right where I sit. Pay Q. You got to keep your guys around, especially guys that are legit stars, legit among the elites at his position. Got to take care of that guy. And in addition to that, guys, a top 5 defense, most offenses can win with that. Most offenses can win. We couldn't. We got rid of LaFleur. It looks like we're going to put Zach Wilson on the back burner and try to slowly simmer him a little bit. That could bode well for him. We're going to bring in a quarterback. We have tons of weapons around. You know, the offensive line gets healthy, but we bring in some guys. We're there. We're not far away. We're going to kick the shit out of the league this year. We're ready, man. We're ready, and we're going to take over the league. They don't know. They don't know what we got over here. We're doing it. We're nice and slow. That's right. Well, hey, Matthew Smith, exactly. It's on my peripheral. I didn't know about it. That's what I said. Like when I brought it home, when I had the sponsor, all this, my wife was like, oh, I love that stuff. I was like, really? But I'm starting to see it. And again, why pay full price? It was like $3.50 for one of these little packets, man. One of these little guys. $3.50. No way. Do it this way and save 20%. Buy it in, in packages, whatever. Patty Grimes, hello. Good morning. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here. Have a great rest of the day. Don't forget O'Leary and Ryan and Jake and Ali and Jack and Richie and everybody else. They're all going to be on Jets Media in just a few minutes. Continue the Jets day. Go over there and hang out with those guys. I'm really sorry that I can't make it with them, but I hope you guys can make it. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Let me see what I leave you with today. Let's see what I leave you with. I'm just going to pick a rando. All right. Let's see what it is. I don't even know what it is. Let's see what this is. Guys, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. The Washington Redskins at the time, they didn't want to trade the 5th overall pick. They didn't want to do it. They probably wanted Ricky Williams or they wanted somebody for their own team. And Ditka just kept dumping shit. No, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And he got to a deal. You're seriously going to give me the 12 overall, every pick in this draft, plus your 1st and 3rd next year for one guy? They took it. So you want to know how this worked out? 2 years later, the Saints traded Ricky Williams. I think they fired Mike Ditka too. Like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. So that's what they did. This guy's out of his mind. They bought in on name only. They said, hey, man, he's a genius. We're just going to go. Nobody thinks this is smart.
Nobody else in the organization bought into that one. I'm sure of it. But they let him do it because he's Mike Ditka, and then we learned right there that Mike Ditka's plumb crazy.